I'm just watching my kids play GTA, and they are punching people and stomping on their heads. They were, a while ago, they were different animals. Apparently, they snorted some plants and turned psychedelics and turned it, hallucinated they were animals.
They hallucinated,
Apparently, they're doing some cheats where they can find a plant that they can kind of ingest or smell or something and hallucinate, and then they become an animal running around in GTA.
Huh. Like the mountain lion? Or
they were a cow, a dog, a deer or stag or something. Oh, he died. Oh, no, he didn't die. He smashed his head with blood everywhere, but he's still going. Anyway, sorry. Distracted. Oh, so how was your week?
My week has been interesting. You know, it's just trying to blow through a bunch of work and everything.
Maybe different phrasing, because I immediately conjure you blow employees.
You conjure me blowing employees?
Welcome to Uncle Weepy's Depression Dungeon, the least helpful self-help podcast. Here are your hosts, Paul Armstrong and Jeremy Fuchsa.
I found out that some of my coworkers listen to this, which makes me nothing. It makes me nothing. I'll not be any different than I usually am. They said that they listen. They probably don't. They probably you have a podcast. I'm like, I do. Like, yeah, it's funny. It's a funny name. I'm like, it is.
Yeah, you know, I used to get a lot of that. I'd go places and meet people, and they're, man, you know, I'm such a big fan of the Shakes. It's such a great show. Are you still doing it? Oh, okay. Well, they're a big fan. I would think you would know if I was still.
Well, to be fair, that you would go months without doing one and then do one again.
Yeah, but this is while we were doing them weekly. This was deep in the meat of our weekly release schedule.
And they got your name wrong. So so how you doing, Jeremiah? It's Jeremy. That's okay, Doug. That's not even close.
Yeah. So, you know, people lying that they listen to your podcast, I think is the new I think it's the new Your Baby Is Cute.
That's an interesting correlation.
I really do.
Media Corner.
That's what I often rewatch stuff that I've watched before. Just one, because it's comforting, and two, it's funny. Like
I used to do that all the time.
I'll rewatch Parks and Rec or 30 Rock or Scrubs or, like you said, Community. If you like Community, I bet you would like. Have you ever seen Superstore?
You know, we caught an episode of it, or caught about half of an episode of it about a month ago.
Terrible name. Not the greatest branding around it. It is a very funny show. Or if you like Brooklyn Nine-Nine, you ever watch that?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So it's in that kind of vein of like, it's just, it gets better the more you watch it kind of thing. Like, you'll watch one, you're like, I could see how it's funny, but you keep watching it, you get invested with the characters and the storylines, because it has a through line.
Well, I really like old Mike McKinney.
Yes, and he does like a Kermit the Frog voice. Oh, Jerusha. Oh, we're going to have a baby. Yeah, he just does this weird voice. It's a very funny show. I recommend it. Boy, we're starting right off with Media Corner, aren't we?
I know.
We didn't do much of it yet last week. So
yeah,
skabadoosh, skadoosh, and we all blow up. That's good. So Superstore's good. Raising Hope's old show. You can watch all of them. I don't know if I followed all the way through to the last season. It was in the age of no streaming.
Yeah.
So if I missed it, I missed it because we didn't have like TiVo or DVR or anything.
Yeah.
So I think it kind of dropped off. That happened back, what was it? Late 2000s?
Yeah, it showed IMDb shows as 2010 to 2014.
Yeah. Same thing I had with 30 Rock. Like, I missed like several episodes for a while because I just kept forgetting about it. And then obviously when it came on streaming, I watched them all again. But it's kind of that fuzzy period of, well, I can't DVR it. I don't have a VCR.
Yeah.
I guess I'm going to have to miss this.
Yeah.
It wasn't even that long ago. Now it feels like forever ago where people just demand, like, why can't I stream it? Like, it's so amazing how quickly we demand things for new technology.
Yep.
We were talking in the office the other week just about if anyone in the office could remember if they could remember life without a cell phone. And there's only just a handful of us that could. And by that, I mean two. There's two people that like, yeah, I remember when I got my first cell phone.
You and one other person.
Yeah, pretty much.
Yeah.
And he's still way younger than I am.
Yeah.
I'm like, I bought my first cell phone. I was married at the time. So you probably remember your first cell phone because you were in elementary school.
Yeah. Yeah.
I can read maps. I can go a long time with just waiting in line without looking at something.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Though I prefer not to because it was horrifying.
Who does, really?
Right?
But yeah. Yeah.
I don't want to go back to the time. There's a reason that we evolve and change and make this technology. It's not. That's always fine. I always find that fascinating about people, good old days or wanting to get back to our roots or whatever. I'm like, there's a reason that we've evolved. Like, there's a reason we stopped doing quote unquote organic farming. It's because it's very hard to have sustainable crops who can fight through, blight and bugs and insects and bad weather and inclement weather. And we have a lot of population that we have to feed.
Yeah, do we like to eat? We do.
Yeah.
So let's genetically modify it so that there's more.
Right. All we're going to do is if we keep forgetting why we did this is we're going to repeat it. I assume that's why they say
naughty girls need love too.
That's exactly why they say that. If you don't realize that naughty girls need love too, you're going to repeat your past mistakes.
That's right.
I'm just trying to think of where your brain must be that just came right out.
A random Samantha Fox lyric came out.
Oh boy! Wow, what a pull!
Kids these days.
Had a very interesting evening. So we were out and about tonight. It's rainy here, and so all of the sports balls were canceled. And so before I left the office, I got this call, and my wife called and said, "Well, we're meeting my sister over at the Brass Rail, which is this sports bar-y kind of place that's never. I had been there once, but it was just never a place that we had ever been. We were like, oh, sure, why the hell not?
The place we have a place here called the Brass Ass, which is not probably the same as.
I don't know. Does it have like 30 pool tables and?
No, it's just a strip club. No. I don't think you'll take your kids there.
Brass ass. No. Yeah. So, anyways, this is one of those places that I really am. They probably don't have 30, but I bet you they had like 18 pool tables and 9 dartboards.
What was that place in Austin? Buffalo something that had all the pool tables.
Buffalo Billiards. Yeah. It's exactly like Buffalo Billiards, except almost twice the size. So,
oh, wow.
Yeah, it was. Yeah, and Buffalo Billiards is big.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's pretty big. And so, we went there and had some happy hour drinks and food and stuff. But, played
kids too.
Yeah, kids too. But, we played some pool. We played some darts. Played the
What's
pub
your kids'
games,
preferred cocktail? What are your kids like as a cocktail?
Well, my oldest, he likes like a Shirley Temple, but my youngest just likes straight up Scotch. And so
cigar and Scotch, I get it. Yeah.
And so we played played some pub games. We're gonna do shuffleboard as well, but that was busy. But it was fun because I used to
be a pool shark.
Oh no! I was okay at pool.
Yeah, we had a pool table growing up. So
yeah, I was never fantastic at pool, but my first 2 years at college, when I lived in the dorms, every dorm floor had a pool table in the lounge, and so we played a lot of pool. And so I was not bad at pool early in my college years, but then later I would play a lot of darts, and so darts I was actually pretty good at, and so that was a lot of fun going in and playing darts, but. As with all things, my spatial relationships have gone fallow.
Sure.
So
your relationships have soured a little bit.
Oh yeah, just a little bit. And so as with all things, billiards, darts, sexual intercourse, it all just goes to hell. And so, but yeah, it was fun. It was fun to try to play some darts again and actually do half-ass at it. It was good. It was good.
Fun.
Now I want a dartboard.
They're pretty inexpensive.
Yeah, I know.
If you're going to go for between pool table and dartboard, I'd say dartboard would be the least expensive. Unless it's made out of gold.
Yeah, there's no way that there's going to be a pool table. There's no room for a pool table here, but a dartboard for sure. Somewhere, I actually think I still have my electronic dartboard from college, which at the time, those were not cheap. And I ended up...
You could probably get one at like a Goodwill at this point.
I'm sure that you could.
You probably get one from our site, ebth.com.
Probably so.
This episode is not sponsored by ebth.com, just so everyone knows. It is sponsored by Muggins, which is nothing. I just made that up. Muggins Sportswear.
Muggins.
Where you get all of your best Moffets.
Moffets.
You know what a Moffet is, right?
Is a Moffet like a Merkin?
No, a Moffet is a thing that goes around your waist that you put your hands in.
Oh, so a Moffet is a muff with a belt.
A Moffet is a fanny pack for your hands. So in winter, you just I could be totally making this up. I'm guessing. I'm going to look it up. No, I'm not going to look it up. I'm not going to rely on technology because we're talking about how
Well, it's too late. I already looked it up and you're dead wrong. Or I don't know. I also could have spelled it wrong.
Moffit.
Well, Moffit. That's what I put in the second time.
Or
wait, hold on though. There's an Urban Dictionary for it. So let's start there because that's usually where you.
Oh, it's not like that. It's not an Urban Dictionary thing. It's not like
a Mexican Halloween.
No.
I'm not getting anything from Moffat. So let's say okay. So we're sponsored.
Oh, maybe it has an E.
We're sponsored by Muggins Moffets. Are your hands cold? Do your fingers feel the chilly sting of a midwinter's morn? Well, we would like to talk to you about Muggins Moffets. Keep your fingers.
No, my daughter just showed me a definition from Urban Dictionary. That is not what I'm thinking.
An Urban Dictionary Muffet?
Moffat.
Like a Blumpkin?
I don't know what that is. Something with pubic hair is all I saw, which is more like
that's a Merkin. That's a Merkin.
Little Miss Moffat. I'm making stuff up. I'm misremembering. Let's just say that. I'm fake newsing it.
Yes. These are not real word sounds.
Now I'm going to look up hand warmer waist pouch.
What?
There's just random words coming to my head. Hand warmer waist pouch.
Hand warmer waist pouch.
Okay, there's no official name for it other than waist pack with hand warmer. This is not what I want.
Okay, then it's up to us to call. We're going to call it.
I'm calling it that. We're made up a new name for it.
Call it the Moffat.
I've discovered this.
And now it's an awareness campaign. It's all about the awareness campaign for the
it
Moffat.
says hand muffler. Hand muff. Maybe it's just muff.
Well,
maybe
that's
it's
what
just
I said.
muff.
I said it's a muff.
Did you say muff?
I did.
I ignored you.
I did. Muff, a tube made of fur or other warm material into which the hands
muff.
are placed for warmth.
All right, it's muff. You're right. I was thinking of a baby muff.
Oh,
A baby muff is called a muffet.
a Muffet.
You know, like a dinette. Or I don't know where it came from. Oh, it's because it was sponsored. I came up with a fake sponsor, which is what I used to do in my old podcast because I knew I would never get a real one. So I just made up bland sponsors like hands and dish towels.
Hands and
It would just be random. Like I literally just on the spot. Today's episode is brought to you by hot dogs and empty plastic bags. Literally just whatever came into my mouth.
That's good. That's good. We probably should bring that. We probably should bring that back
With Uncle Wapey?
Yeah.
We should just have a bunch of random words that he says that we can make a soundboard with.
Well, that would be good. We could, I'm sorry. I've hit a rabbit hole, and
You're muffing.
Oh, I don't even know what's going on there. But that looks, ew.
Oh yeah, no, that's minge. Sorry, I looked up.
Yeah,
muffin
no,
Urban
that's
Dictionary.
that's something else. Well, that's a
South Park.
fun word to say.
What minge?
Minge.
I just know that from South Park. Right? Wasn't that on South Park? Early days.
I don't know. I just remember there was some internet cartoon that did it.
It was yeah. It was.
But it wasn't
South Park.
No, it wasn't South Park. It was like a website.
Sure.
There was like this guy that did these flash cartoons.
It was Oprah. It was Ofra. That's what I just
Ofra?
said. Ofra. As if she has a PH after the O. No, it was
Ofra.
Oprah's minge.
Okay.
Are you thinking of
I don't know, but now it's going to kill me because it was a website that I went to
who
all
did
the time.
who did was it Weebles? No. Weren't they a cartoon?
What?
Weebles? No, not Weebles.
It was something like that. It was really, really poorly drawn.
Not Lodestar
hold on.
or whatever,
No,
Runner.
it was not Homestar Runner.
Homestar Runner. God,
It was.
I just combined a game and a online. I said Lodestar Runner, which is nothing. No, there was the Look at My Horse. My horse is amazing. Who did
Okay,
that?
I remember. Okay. Oh, okay.
Look at my horse. My horse is amazing.
It might be the same people. The only thing. Okay, Joel Veitch. It was the thing.
I was Weeble. I was right with it.
It was the thing I was trying to remember. I was like, oh, he did a Quiznos thing, and yes, so he had a minge song. Rather good. Rathergood.com.
We are really down rabbit holes today. What is?
I know.
This? It's no one's going to be able to keep up, and our notes are going to be very long.
Do you remember his?
Barbie Girl?
No, his Spung Monkeys Quiznos ad.
We love these subs, cause they are good to us. The Quiznos subs, they are tasty, they are crunchy, they are warm because they toast them. They got a pepper bar.
Do you remember that?
Oh, yeah. Oh, he did that ad?
Uh-huh.
That was a very strange ad. And I think it put Quiznos out of business, that ad.
It pretty much did.
Do you think it really did, though?
No.
Okay.
But people hated it. People absolutely hated it.
I'm not kidding. I think it really could have damaged their reputation in terms of people are like, I don't get it. I don't like this anymore. I mean, there's probably some other business practices, but a really bad commercial campaign can ruin a business.
Oh, absolutely.
Just like a bad rebranding can almost ruin a business.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Looking at you, Gap. Looking at you, Tropicana. Tropicana abandoned their rebranding immediately. Do you remember that? It's like six or 7 years ago.
Yes, it was, yeah. Uh-huh.
We spent millions of dollars
And
had all
they
of these
reversed
bottles.
it in like a month.
Yeah.
I do remember that.
Gap, I think Gap was basically trolling us with that new logo. Like, we were just kidding. That's why I love April Fools. Like, it's a great way to try something out. And if people hate it, be like, I was just kidding with it anyway, which is what ThinkGeek does all the time. They make fake products. And then if people really love it, like, oh, I guess we'll make this
okay,
now.
we'll make that for real then.
Yeah, unicorn meat and stuff like that was originally April Fool's jokes. And they're like, oh, you like this? Cool. If you didn't, just a joke. I think it's the perfect way to completely test brand something. It's like, all right.
to fake it?
Yeah. Do it on April Fool's Day. People are like, no, it's pretty cool. And be like, oh, yeah, well, maybe we'll do it. And if not, like, yeah, we are totally kidding.
Let's get serious.
I was talking with a friend today about I don't know if you saw the news, but Finland had for like 2 years run their universal basic income, UBI. Yeah. Have you ever read about universal basic income?
I haven't read about it. I have heard about it, but I have not read
about
it.
Finland did their experiment. It was very interesting. For about 2 years, they did it for every citizen of Finland. And they just ended it, but they ended it because, interestingly, they already had been giving people so many benefits that there wasn't any benefit to getting the income, because they have free health care, they have really great time off, they have long-term unemployment and disability kind of payments, all that kind of stuff. They have a really active, robust job market. So overall, they're like, it wasn't really doing anything for anyone, or at least there didn't seem to be any incentive to creating a program like it, which I kind of found interesting. I found interesting, one, too, that they even tried it, because everyone's talked about it like in terms of the future.
Yeah.
There's going to be way more people than we can ever have jobs for, especially since automation is going to be getting rid of a lot of low-level, low-paying kind of jobs, which is where there's going to be the most people,
Right.
Like, it's only probably a matter of 10, 15 years till fast food is completely automated. No humans needed. They already have the robots doing it to some degree. Just a matter of a restaurant chain doing
5 to 8.
Yeah,
You were being generous.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's a matter of a restaurant doing it, proving it out. Obviously, it'll be much more expensive to start the franchise. To get those robots installed will not be cheap. So the upfront investment is going to be a lot, which is why I don't think it'll take off quickly. Mm-hmm. It'll be like the people who own a bunch of chains will do it, unless somehow the chains themselves incentivize people to do it. But that plus automation in factories and warehouses and things like that. But the idea is then, like, people should have a universal basic income just to survive, because there's going to be people and they're not going to be jobs for them. And that's the best way to cut down on crime and all sorts of stuff. I doubt the United States will ever do it unless we get over the hatred of quote unquote socialism.
Yeah.
And ignoring it is just going to create, just imagine the mass amounts of poverty that we already have now that will just be expounded upon by people who depend upon, sadly, really terrible paying jobs to try to survive. And now they won't even be able to have those kind of jobs.
Yeah.
I mean, that's our future hitting us in the face really soon.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Like,
so Finland was trying to
just see how it would go, but they already have such good programs anyway. They didn't see any benefit. I'm like, it really needs to happen in a country that doesn't do anything like that. But sadly, they would never do anything like that. This is interesting. It's an interesting conversation just to start to think about the whole pull yourself up by the bootstraps mentality, or self-made man stuff. There's a great series on a podcast I listened to called On the Media. They did a 3-part series on poverty and like the whole myth of the American-made person, how it's not true. Like, if you're in poverty, the amount of people that get out of it is like so low, and it's based on neighborhoods, it's based on race, big time. Mm-hmm. It's like it's just a myth, and it gets perpetuated by the people who are not in that situation to put upon the people who are. Anyway, that's where like the whole universal basic income thing comes in terms of like, you have to live in the world we live in, not in some idealized version that, people can work and they can pay. Yeah, well, these jobs don't pay well. We haven't had a pay increase in the lower and middle classes in like 20 years or more. But everything keeps inflating and getting more expensive. Therefore, it's harder for them to live without having several jobs. And when those jobs go away, what's going to happen? It's clear that crime goes up when jobs are gone. That's just the way it happens. Bored people doing nothing get into trouble. It's a fact.
Yeah.
Anyway, that has nothing to do with anything other than I just read about it today. I'm like, It's sad because it seems like something that would be useful to.
Well, I think, don't you think that more nations will experiment with it within the country? Because
not America, but other countries.
Well, sure.
Norway, Amsterdam, or not Amsterdam.
Seems like one of those things that is going to become pretty vital before too long.
I think it's going to happen when it's probably too late to make an impact. I can see Japan maybe trying something like that, but I don't know.
Yeah.
There's another, like Japan has an issue with not enough people for jobs now because they have such an old population.
Yeah. That
they're dealing with the fact that they have not enough people to fulfill all of the jobs that they actually have. And they also I believe they don't have a lot of immigration or almost have no immigration in terms of there's no one new coming into, or very few.
Mm-hmm.
I think that's true. So they're dealing with a whole situation that America might be in 5 years or less in terms of our baby boom generation, which was huge. Which you can tell, like I assume this is universal, not just where we live, but almost every major construction project I see are in the healthcare field. Which is because
we've got an aging population that needs more and more health care. And
it's health care. It's
spleen
senior
cleansings.
Yeah, you have senior homes popping up everywhere.
Yeah. Oh, God, yes.
Yeah. So it's everything related to aging. I'm like, what's going to happen when those people die in about 10 to 15 years and all those things are empty?
Yeah, and then you've got all this real estate that's just,
You have all these homes that are empty, all these hospitals that can't. Oh, man. Anyway.
Yeah.
It spirals pretty quickly in terms of like, we're not thinking about the problem, or we're thinking about little ridiculous issues right now that, and I guess that's the problem with politics is we're short-sighted, but.
Well, it's always about putting the fire out that's in front of you and not the wildfire coming over the ridge.
I mean, you get DACA now where we postpone that forever and I just have a president like, well, I was going to end it. Or like Social Security, all that kind of stuff. We're like, we'll deal with it when it comes. Like, no, we won't. We don't deal with it until it's too late. And then we're like, oh my God, what do we do? Like, you put it off. That's what you did. Now we're into our depression spiral here.
Yeah, it's making me tired.
Nice segue. Very well done. Did you read all that?
I did. And if there's one thing that I am good at, it is segueing into things.
Yeah, so I sent you that article, and my wife had actually posted on Facebook, and I found it interesting. She was like, this is my family, and I read it. I'm like, yeah, it's very true.
Yes, it is. Huh.
It's about why people who have mental disabilities or issues are tired.
Yeah.
And I read that. I'm like, yep. And it was nice to be like, oh, that's why I'm tired all the time. I'm not just dying or something.
Yeah, you sent it to me, and then I read it and immediately sent it off to my wife. And her reply was, but you fall asleep in like 30 seconds. It's like, okay, sure, fine. But it's because I am so tired.
It's because you had 5 drinks and then you're just
well, exactly, and that's and that's part of it. Yes, but
yeah,
the point, the reason I sent it was really more not the fact that people lay up and stay awake longer than normal because their brains are working. That wasn't the part that was not. We didn't get the message. The part was
right
that I was certainly looking at and double highlighting with my mental marker is coming home at the end of the day and just being so incredibly exhausted.
Yeah.
And have been doing it for years. And my wife going, well, why are you so tired? You've just been sitting around writing some code all day. Why?
Right.
It's not like you've been digging a ditch for 12 hours or whatever. Why are you so
God,
tired?
I would love it. I would love it to be that I dug a ditch for 12 hours.
And so, and this article completely nailed all those reasons why. It's because, I have spent those hours not only writing code or designing or doing the things that I do all day that does not have me moving out of a chair. It's me fighting myself to have the focus, the wherewithal, the fighting off the naysaying brain demons that want me not to do the work. And then trying to get the work done on top of all of those things makes you super tired.
Yeah. Yeah. Shutting your brain up, interacting with people where you're interacting and having your brain shut up because your brain's like, you're an idiot. You're not saying anything interesting. They hate you so much.
Yep.
That's my brain. But
yeah.
As well as just trying to be normal. The whole time you're thinking like, am I saying something weird? Am I looking in their eye enough? Am I looking in their eyes too much? Oh, I need to probably look away a little bit. Oh, now I'm making them, like that is constantly in my brain all the time, besides having the conversation that you're having and listening to what's being said and not just being the wait for your turn kind of person.
Right.
Yeah. No, yeah. That was the part that resonated with me too.
Look up, eye contact. No, wait, too much eye contact. Don't look down that far. Look farther up, down. Yes. Neck, chin, eyes, no. Chin.
Are they looking at your ear? They're looking at your ear. What did you do to your ear? Why are they looking over there? They're looking at, you have a booger. You have a booger on your ear. Did you pick your nose and pick your ear at the same time? What's going on? Yeah, you just keep spiraling. And then you're telling your brain, shut up, just listen. Yeah, it's constant. It's constant.
It's a
mess. That's nice stuff. The mean stuff is just the constant berating that at least my brain does to me all the time.
Oh yeah. No, I'm full of that.
So related to that, this past weekend I did a afternoon mentoring people. There's like some startup weekend here, and they asked me a long time ago if I would be a mentor, and for like people with UI, UX, design questions. I'm like, oh yeah, sure, that sounds fun. And then sprung on me. I'm like, oh crap, I got to go do this. But the whole time,
and you were completely dreading, like the day that it came. You're like, crap, I don't want to do this at all. Right?
I was looking for all sorts of reasons to be like, oh, I'm too busy. I'm gonna have to say no. But I did it. But then while there, the whole time, I'm like, I felt like I was constantly apologizing to people for talking. And like, that makes sense. That probably didn't make any sense. Like, am I helpful? I'm probably not helpful. Like, I just kept doing that. Because I know in my brain, I'm talking to them and I'm like, this isn't helpful to them. They already know this stuff. I'm just wasting their time. Like, and I have people that work for me, and that's my mindset.
Yeah.
Oh, I'm not good at that. Oh, why are they listening to me? Oh, it's terrible. It's terrible. That's exactly why you come home at the end of the day and you're tired.
Yeah.
And why, if you're like me, you put on stuff that you've seen, stuff that's funny, stuff that's brainless, mindless, and entertaining, because your brain will stop being an asshole to you.
Yeah.
Just for
I call that the constant apologizing. It's my mother-in-law's pie syndrome.
Which is your mother-in-law brings a pie and she's like, oh, I didn't put any time into that. That's not that good.
Wants to call out all of the imperfections of the pie before you have a chance to go, oh, this crust isn't neat enough, or it's that type of thing. And it's the same thing with what you're saying, is that you're basically trying to beat people to a non-existent punch that your brain has convinced is there.
Yeah, it's, you would think by our age that we Well, the article said this too. Like, people are constantly like, just get over it. You know, like,
Yeah.
I've tried everything I can to be over it and to curb it, to silence
Boy,
it.
howdy. Yes.
And there isn't much. I'm sure, like you, I now have coping mechanisms, and everyone finds their coping mechanisms. Some people find unfortunate coping mechanisms. That's why I believe there's so many people who have drug and alcohol problems.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, that literally is why. I also believe there's so many more people who have. I would go so far as to say that everyone has a version of a mental disorder. Everyone.
Yeah, I completely agree.
A disability of some sort. It's a spectrum, which is so weird. Is why there's such a stigma around it. Is it because it's not a stigma against it? It's more of a reflection of ourselves. Does that make sense? Do you know?
I'm having a hard time wrapping my head around it, but yeah, I mean, I kind of get what you're saying.
Like, if there's so many people that, or maybe it's just the fact that people don't know that they do or don't believe that they do, but like, there clearly is. Like, I've interacted with enough people that if I've ever said that, oh, I have ADHD and anxiety and short-term memory problems, that to them it's an issue. Like, it's a problem. They don't know how to deal with you.
Mm-hmm.
So either you hide it, or you just don't talk to people again after you disclose.
Yeah.
But is it big? Like, either they don't realize that they probably have some of their own issues and they're just projecting, or I don't know.
Yeah, I think there's definitely a truth to that. Like you're saying, everybody's got a little bit of a something going on.
Yeah,
so there really are definitely a lot of people out there who just don't have a clue because they maybe haven't sat around and thought about it yet, or have some denial to it. The list can go on and on and on.
Yeah, they're always not very self-reflective, and even that, when we're self-reflective, we're probably going to be more. I don't know if that's true. I don't say positive about what we see, but not as realistic about what we see. But that takes therapy or a lot of self-reflection. Yeah, I don't know. I think the article talked about that too. Like, we have to find so much poetry to try to describe what it's like to have our issue to people who don't understand it, that it just seems unfair. Like, I have to go out of my way to try to explain what's happening rather than you just being like, oh, I'm so sorry you're going through that. Or I'm so sorry you have to deal with that. It's like, get over it.
Yeah.
Like, someone broke their leg. I'm like, get over it. Don't put a cast on. Just deal with it.
Rub some dirt on it.
It's a broken bone. It'll heal. Just act like it's normal. Cast. Wah. Big baby. Oh, you lost your arm in an accident. Got blown off. Wah. Deal with it. I mean, it's like the same thing. Like,
just make something out of paper mache.
It's
and
honestly,
rubber bands.
I think it's as simple as it's unseen, therefore it's not tangible.
Yeah.
It's as simple as that.
Yep.
Which is just a limitation of human experience. I can't experience your brain, therefore I can deny it. Goes back to our conversation last week of pain. Anything that's conceptual is easily dismissible. When you have a universal understanding of pain, it's not as dismissible. Everyone can, well, maybe they haven't broken a bone, but they can understand what it's like to really hurt yourself. Mm-hmm. But a brain, there's no Band-Aid for it. There's lots of drugs, but
yeah,
it was a good article. In terms of it was validation. It was nice because I do get concerned. I'm like, I honestly look forward to going to bed, just sleeping. It's sad. Which
You have questions or topics for the show? Call 816-535-1094 and leave a voicemail. Or reach us on Twitter at Uncle Weepy. If you enjoyed this show, first rate and review the show on iTunes, Google Play, or wherever you get your podcasts. Your review helps the podcast robot suggest this show to other listeners. Second, consider supporting the show on Patreon. Patrons of the show get access to exclusive after-show material. Several levels of support are available. Visit patreon.com/Uncle Weepy for details.